ready, please.
So we go back up to the start. This time it's a heat of the Wyfold Challenge Cup. Both these crews came through the qualification regatta. Maidenhead Rowing Club, they are furthest away from you on the Berkshire station in green, and on this station it's Ardingly Rowing Club. Down there in Kent, they are in very distinctive blue and yellow. On the right of your picture, you will have no difference spotting either of these two crews as the race progresses. Off the a little deep on the bowside blades in the Ardingly crew.
Yeah, they're just dragging a lot of dirty water there, unfortunately. You can just see the water spraying up the loom there. They're just digging too deep. Looks like they're getting back on track now. They just need to make sure that they've got equal depths on each side, or they're slowing the boat down. You know,
it's their first time racing for the stroke man on bowside. That's Harry Beadle, the stroke man of Ardingly, and perhaps that might be a little bit of inexperience coming in there. So there's the shot just off the start. Two crews very well matched. Maidenhead just have the early advantage, and it's a very close race.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is Ardingly's kind of, they didn't qualify last year, they're back this year, they've obviously qualified the regatta, and it's the club's 21st birthday this year. So,
wow.
You know, it's a fairly new club to the sport, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
And there's clubs that have been around for over 100 years.
Yeah, and fellow West Ham supporter Mostyn Field, former British international rower, of course, is the coach down there, and he coaches this crew of young men of Ardingly. Their stroke, Henry Beadle, did tell me this morning they beat this Maidenhead crew by 3 seconds in the time trial at Marlow. So they would have been expecting a close race, but certainly they would have probably written themselves in as favourites, Mark.
Yeah, but that's the thing, the word time trial. They raced processionally, they weren't racing side by side. And, you know, different athletes respond to different racing situations. And a side-by-side race, you know, is very different to a time trial format. So they know they've got the speed, but have they got it in their head to really kind of commit to it and do their race plan to take down the Maidenhead crew?
That's a great shout. But Ardingly, well, Henry Beadle, the stroke man, he's on the extreme left of your picture. He told me the best bit of our race, Martin, is in the middle. And, well, they've produced that, they've shown that, because Maidenhead did lead. They perhaps had a length, but Ardingly have come back a little bit. Very, very close race. And I think Maidenhead will rely on the experience of their stroke man, the club in green with the star on the blade, Ross McCauston. It's his third time in the Wyfolds, and Ross will use all that experience to lead his crew under this pressure that Ardingly are putting them under.
Yeah, and the two boutmen in the Maidenhead crew, this is the fourth Henley as well, so they do have a lot of experience. But, you know, this race is not done yet. It's pretty close out there.
So we can't see them in shot. You saw the time there in the background, 3:56. That is, well, it's not quite halfway. I think it's an extra length to the finish line from the Fawley mark than it is from the start to Fawley. But, well, both crews settled into their race pace. No, the umpires launched. There you see a shot of Henry Beadle, the stroke man. It's his first time at Henley. His pairs partner behind him, Elliot Green. And, well, perhaps the blade's a little deep. Maybe that's the conditions, Mark.
Yeah, they just need to keep their head. There's too much looking around. They need to really just keep their head still and just have one person doing the calls, checking where Maidenhead are and relaying it back to the crew. They must stand their bubble doing their thing.
Yeah, and the Maidenhead crew look very tidy. The boys in green on the right of your picture, blades going in at the right depth, pacey rate of striking, really not looking too phased, but they are coming under pressure from the Ardingly crew, who, even though the blades are going deep, they are rowing long strokes.
Yeah, and they've got a sniff now. I like using the word a sniff. They can sense the crew beside them. They can see their white boat coming back into the kind of peripherals on their right-hand side, and that will just grow in confidence as long as they keep a cool head and start to kind of go through the kind of gears and start moving it up. Put themselves in a great position coming into the closing stages.
So we're looking down from the commentary position and we can see in the distance, I reckon that's about 300 metres to go. If the crew from Ardingly, yellow and blue, are going to make a move, they will have to do so now. And Alex Dombrow, the bowman, looked round. He's making the calls to the crew in the Ardingly, but Maidenhead have kept up that rhythm. They've never faltered. perhaps slightly shorter on the strokes, but they're very neat, very tidy, and they're pushing the boat along without stopping it, Mark.
Yeah, and the boat, as you can see from this shot, doesn't seem to be wobbling from left to right. You know, the Ardingly boat is kind of dipping and dipping all the time, so it makes it very uncertain for the athlete when you're coming forward to take a stroke.
So it's a close race still. Ardingly on the left of your picture do have an overlap. Maidenhead, I think, have got enough water to make their lead count. It's about 15 strokes to finish as Ardingly, well, Maidenhead move out of their station into the centre of the river, but there's the finish. You can see it now, and it does look comfortable for Maidenhead.
Yeah, you see that both crews have kind of moved together into the centre of the river there. So that does play into Maidenhead's favour, because they can send that dirty water or puddles down, which would affect the Ardingly kind of stroke-siders.
So, what a close race. There is the club from Maidenhead who defeat Ardingly. Both of them came through qualifiers. It'd be a fantastic achievement for both to be in this event, but for Maidenhead particularly to have scored the victory. There's confirmation. Maidenhead Rowing Club beat Ardingly from Kent in the Wyfold Challenge Cup.